Hey, how's it going? Tommy Taylor here, and I'm going to teach you how to build a routine today that's going to help you really be able to structure your life because structure equals freedom, and to really be able to understand that habits and routine do play a role in each other, and routine plus good habits plus good beliefs equals the condition of your heart. So we have to work on those by understanding the routine. And I'm going to help you dial in that routine on a whole nother level. Now, I've recorded this before, but this is 2.0 version. So that being said, we're going to be walking through some very extensive stuff, and you're going to love it. Now, let's go ahead and dive into things. So first of all, why do you need a routine? Well, understand this. It sets the tone for your day. You stack wins throughout the day, week and year and years, right? You stack wins, and before you know it, you're building progress. It's a compound effect. So it also allows you to run your week, not your week run you. Run your year, your days, not those things running you. You have to be intentional in life. Like we said before, this program is called Anything Else, be called Intentionality 2.0, right? But that being said, it will also skyrocket your productivity, give you more freedom and time, maybe even more income, most likely if you do it right, to be fully present with your family, and to build the habits, and to understand also habits also determine the condition of your heart. So, and what comes out of your mouth is a determination of what's in your heart. So those are some reasons why, but also really how you do anything is how you do everything to some extent. And so really we want to maximize that and build mental resiliency here, because that's what this is also going to do. You can't expect to lead especially if you're a guy, you can't expect to lead your family if you can't even lead yourself on a day-to-day basis, much less even like a year or week, year basis or weekly basis. So you have to understand, like, if you want to develop a solid culture in your family, you also want to develop like a really team thriving culture where you spend a lot of quality time and you prioritize the right things, and you have to do this the right way. Now, what you might not understand is that when you're doing this routine, it's going to start out as a devotion, meaning a routine, meaning a must-do type of thing, a to-do list. Then it eventually becomes a desire. It's just like a relationship with Jesus. It starts out as devotion, 30 minutes a day, and then it turns into a desire where you get your cup filled and you really start to really just embody the lifestyle. So just understand that it's going to take a minute to develop that desire, but it does come. Motivation, don't rely on that. Don't get motivation and then think the desire is going to be there. It's the actions that create the desire, that create the motivation. So you have to build self-confidence. And the way you do that is by keeping promises to yourself. That's going to be drastically important. This also, like I said before, builds mental toughness, which is absolutely key, which mental toughness and confidence is mental resiliency, mental fortitude, endurance, a lot of different things, but it does help a ton here. So the morning routine myth. Well, a lot of gurus say you have to wake up at 5 a.m. And that's not necessarily true. It's more about what you do when you wake up versus what time you wake up. Doesn't really matter. Now, what does matter is that you get a consistent amount of sleep, because that's vital. Most people spend their time, doing busy work and not really delegating stuff to other people also. And they don't really focus on the 5% stuff that needs to be done, the stuff that moves the goals forward, whether it's in your personal life, your relationships, your job, your career, your business, whatever it is you do, and whatever it is you're working on and that's incompetence in your life, but you should be working on all of it, it does affect it, right? If you don't focus on the right things. So excuses, I'm going to eliminate a couple of these. So right now you have to understand that, like, I don't do excuses. I don't believe in excuses. It's a victim-based mindset, and I don't believe in those. Now, here's the thing. How to stop making excuses? Well, complaining has been canceled for all of you. Complaining is canceled in your life. No more complaining, right? Speak life over your life, right? Now, you can complain to God, you can go to him and tell him, and you should be able to be real with him like that, and you should have certain people that you go to talk about this stuff, but to everyone, no, just only certain people. You also shouldn't be complaining all the time, because it's not a good thing. You're focusing on the wrong things. Where your focus is where your faith is. So understand that. You have to choose the hard option every single time. You can either build the muscle that's, the inner beast muscle, or you can build the muscle that's the inner coward muscle. And You can either choose to build the inner coward or the inner beast. You choose. Whatever one you feed, whatever one you focus on is the one that's going to grow. So you have to understand that. You also have to choose to live by principles over feelings, which is going to be absolutely key here. This isn't just about implementing certain strategic things. It's about mindset shifts that empower you and help you grow. So you also have to show up every day, regardless of how you feel, in every area of life, every single area. No more excuses. Complaining is canceled, right? So how to achieve the freedom lifestyle? Well, structure, like I said before, equals freedom. And even if you're not a routine-based person, that's okay. But structure equals freedom. You can adapt to it. You can learn. It's a skill set. It's a learned skill that you can develop and hone and grow. Some people are more natural at it. Some people aren't. My wife is not natural at routine. I am. She's also natural at other things. Well, I'm not as natural at those things. So that being said, anything can be learned as a learned skill. Habits, though, determine the condition of your heart, which is important. And what comes out of your mouth is a reflection of what's in your heart. And so what starts out as devotion turns into desire. Motivation, though, like I said before, is a trap. Successful people do not rely on motivation. If I relied on motivation, I would never get anything done, because there's a lot of days I do not feel motivated whatsoever. I rely on principles over feelings. And so you have to rely on really a yes and amen mindset to life, which means amen means yes, God, right? It means whatever he just said, whatever he just prayed, whatever his promises are, you agree with them. And then it's not just the ending to a prayer. And then yes, before amen means that yes, whatever's next, God. Yes, I'm going to be obedient to you. Obedience is far better than just trying to be a good person, right? So walking in faith is key here. Surround yourself also with the right people, because you're the average of the 5 people you're around the most. I'm talking about habits here. You're going to adopt their habits if you're not careful. You have to be very careful with your environment, because environment absolutely equals destiny. So you have to make time for what matters, meaning you have to make time for what should be staples in your life. Staples, meaning everything else works around those. You also have for example, date nights, church, God, kids, self-care, etc. I'm not just talking about chocolate cake and bubble baths either, like taking care of your emotions and everything like that. All forms of self-care. You have to ground yourself for the day, doing mindset work, affirmations and visualizations, spending time with God, different things like that, because that's going to be vital. Also how to automate and boost efficiency here. So what if I don't have enough time to get everything done? Wrong question. The right question is, why am I doing all of this? Why am I doing all these things? So you want to follow something called an ADE formula: automate, delegate, eliminate, right? So set an alarm in your phone to go off every 20 minutes and write down the things. We're going to talk a little bit more about this in a minute that you're doing. Add an A, a D, or an E beside it, right? And ask yourself, who, not what, not how. Who can do this? Not how. Right? Who can you delegate it to? For example, mowing the yard. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be spending time with your family. If you enjoy doing it, I guess cool, but really you should be like, what is a bigger priority, right? Your family or mowing the yard, right? Who can you hire to come in and deep clean the house once a week or once a month? Stuff like that. So it's going to be very important that you delegate certain things. Now, stop trying to find time. It's a big pet peeve. So don't come to me and tell me I don't have time. You have time. We run a global business with employees and a ton of clients, and we have time for this stuff because we make time, right? It's not about having time, it's about making time. And then also, like that being said, we have clients that have owned 13 different restaurants and still made time to do this. So make time for the things that matter. Now, how to resist temptation and overcome procrastination, because that is going to be very key here. The thing is, never wait for the right time. The right time will never come. That's inevitable. The right time will never get here. All of that, I'm going to get my ducks in a row. I'm going to do this. No, you won't. No, you won't. You won't do that. You're not going to get your ducks in a row, because as you have goals and dreams, the devil also has goals too. His goal is to rob you of your purpose and destiny in life and your marriage. So that being said, make time. The time is now. Most people never succeed in life because they're waiting on the conditions to be just perfect, but then they never do anything. Delay kills dreams every time. There's more goals and dreams and relationships in the graveyard because of delay and procrastination and a fixed mindset than there ever has been due to affairs or anything else. So understand that. Wait on some type of sign? No, don't do that. Don't wait on any type of sign, right? Like there's always going to be a reason to put off till later something that you should be doing right now, right? Now, if God tells you to wait specifically, that's okay. However, there's still actions that you can do because waiting doesn't mean inaction at all. Waiting means that you're doing the things that you need to be doing, but then allowing God to work in other areas. So you can always do stuff. You don't have to do anything. Inaction is there's no excuse for inaction. So also, we act out when we're hungry, angry, lonely, tired. This is an acronym, but HALT, right? People generally act out when they're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, right? And this can be expanded upon. Lonely can mean a variety of different things. Angry can mean a variety of different things. But generally people do this when they're in that. Just pay attention, like, am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, right? And just kind of, you can reword it, like lonely could be a different word for you, but like, just understand it's a really cool tip there. So a daily time journal is going to be key here. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to get out a piece of paper and I want you to write down what you're doing every 20 minutes. Set a timer in your phone every 20 minutes for 2 days from when you get up and when you go to bed. This is going to help you dial in what I call your magic time and also help you identify anything like OCD loops. So you want to set an alarm to go off every 20 minutes in your phone, write down how you're doing, like what you're doing basically and how you're doing, but then also how you feel beside the time, right? And you can also write down the EDE formula and all that beside it. You know, automate, delegate, eliminate. You can write that down too. So, and actually I suggest that highly. Now, OCD loops, what is that? Well, this could be me like every day, you know, at 3, if I get tired, my brain kind of shuts off and I like, you know, end up actually just surfing YouTube or Instagram Reels, or maybe I just need to take a break every 50 minutes so I can go back to work, whatever it is, right? But the thing is, like, you have these different times and you may have these different OCD loops. You may go in the kitchen, sit down and eat certain things and just like find yourself snacking, like, I'm not even hungry. Why am I eating this, right? So you'll have these different things, but it's different for everyone. You have these different triggers and vices, and definitely go into like the habits section, how to break bad habits and all that stuff, and go through that to identify. We have a system for this, but all of us have automatic actions and via habits and beliefs. So it's important through, you know, the care cycles and through habits, reformation and reprogramming and affirmations, the visualizations, and becoming aware to reprogram these things and eliminate them. So get help, insert a circuit breaker. What does that mean? Maybe you go for a walk, maybe you reach out to us, maybe help, whatever it is, to identify whatever it is that you need to be removing. Basically remove distractions. You don't need to be super disciplined. You just need to be disciplined by elimination of distractions. So for example, if I had a jar of M&Ms on my desk right here, and let's say gummies, because gummies are my kryptonite. I had a jar of gummies here on my desk and I'm going to eat it. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. I have no discipline when it comes to gummies. Now, then if I put it in the kitchen, I'm going to eat less of them, but I'm going to be in there quite often, wasting time and eating more of them. Now, if they're out of my house, I'm not going to eat them, period. Like, they're not here, right? So just eliminate it, right? Get rid of it. Now, also, what is this costing you? Because that's going to be vital too. So ask yourself, what is this OCD loop costing you? What is it? What's your lack of routine is really costing you? What is the lack of routine really costing you right now? I think I have some grammar mistakes here, but whatever, get the point. So like, what is your lack of routine? What is the OCD loop costing you right now? And really go into depth on really what it's costing you. You know, like maybe you just go into every aspect of your life that this is affecting, because, and I'm not just saying, oh, it's costing me lack of peace. It's costing me inconsistency. No, that's not. Go into like detail on a lot, like whatever you do like 10 times that. Go into a lot of detail on it, and I really want you to do that. Now, your day starts out the day before, the night before, actually. And what I recommend is like, and I'll go into this in a minute, a little more detail, but No caffeine 10 hours before bed. Have a cutoff time in your day. Do a mind dump, bedtime routine, old school activities, bed, same time every night, right? Do these things. It's important to have sleep. There's a book called Why We Sleep that I definitely recommend reading. We go into this, why we sleep and how to get effective sleep in way more detail in our relationship mastery course, but our mastermind. But that being said, I do want to touch on it here. So it isn't fair. Getting sleep is vital. Like if you're not getting enough sleep and you have a lot of sleep debt, you need to fix that. So if you don't plan the day before to spend your day, you're going to spend it in reaction mode, basically. And if you don't wake up in basically versus reaction mode, that way you can wake up in responsive mode, you'll be able to actually have a way more effective day. So also your morning routine. Morning routine, wake up routine, no snooze button, right? Why? Because if you hit the first thing you do in the morning, if you hit the snooze button, you're actually sending a program, a rut to your subconscious that the first thing you do in your day is a loss. It's ridiculous. Don't hit the snooze button. Set the alarm across the room. Wake up time and bedtime 7 days a week, the same thing. Set phone aside and don't check social media, right? Set it in the bathroom, set it in your closet, set it downstairs even if you really have that big of an issue with it. Get a distraction box. I'll talk about that later on, but like you can lock it up and give your wife or your husband the password to it, vice versa. You can put your phone in there and you can get an alarm clock. You don't need to be on your phone at night anyways. So also, drink 16 ounces of water in the morning. Take a cold shower or a contrast shower. Cold shower, just getting it cold and getting out for 1 minute. Contrast is 3 minutes hot, 1 minute super cold, 1 minute hot, 1 minute cold. You can do that every day. I prefer the contrast showers, but I have done both. I just feel like I get better results with the contrast showers. Then you got prayer and Bible time and meditating on God's word. God, your God journal, like doing evidence journaling, fear journaling, different things like that. Pray, doing spiritual warfare, praying away any evil things with the Holy Spirit, the power of that. Having a gratitude journal, 3 things, an evidence journal, affirmations and visualizations, and maybe even going for a 30-minute walk. I go for a 30-minute walk every morning, and it's good because if you have a dog, they're very routine. So I go for a walk every morning for 30 minutes. And actually I've been walking at night too recently, but that's because of goals. But that being said, you can do that, right? Do these things. It's important. Structure your day. Now, if you want good sleep, pay attention to this. So 10-3-2-1-0 formula. This is for great sleep. One of my previous mentors, Craig Ballantyne, 3 times Wall Street bestseller, Unstoppable, Perfect Day formula and Perfect Week formula. He's taught me a lot of this stuff and it's really changed my life. So 10 hours before bed, no caffeine, right? Set an alarm in your phone. I still have an alarm in my phone to this day. It goes off every single day. 3 hours before bed, stop eating or drinking or, any alcohol or anything like that. You shouldn't be drinking alcohol anyways, but just sips on water. That way you're not waking up in the middle of the night to pee, right? 2 hours before bed, stop working, anything like that. 1 hour before bed, turn off all electronics or just put them in another room or downstairs, whatever it is, right? Get them out of your sight, out of your reach. Do old school activities like read a book, take a warm bath, spend time with your wife or your husband, intimate times, right? That's always fun. So do things like that. Then 0 is 0 times you hit the snooze button the next day, right? So it's pretty simple. Take a picture of this and do it. So the end of day routine. Now this is going to be very important. Now I'm going to describe 2 different situations here, but you want to set an alarm 15 minutes for the last part of your day. 3 to 4, write down 3 to 4 high quality things that are going to move your goals forward. This could be in your business. This could be in your marriage too. This could be personal list and a business list. This could be career list and a personal list. Either way, 3 to 4 high quality things are the biggest levers that you can pull. They're going to move your goals forward. Not 10, not 20. Do not try and stuff 10 pounds potatoes into a 3-pound bag. Don't do that. If you're a list person, I know it's addicting to check stuff off the list, but just because you're busy does not mean you're productive at all. I get more done in a 4-hour gap in my day than most people get done all day long. But it's because I'm very disciplined when it comes to my routine. But I had to put the practice into place to develop those habits. So put it in order of importance. Put the thing in order of importance when it comes to this stuff. Put all of them, after you write these 3 or 4 things, in order of importance. add the first task to every item on the list as well. Like, what is it that you need to do to start that first item, that to-do list item, right? I recommend an app called Todoist to do this. I personally use it on my phone, but if you like paper, you can do paper too. So also 15 minutes, realize this, it's only 15 minutes for success and a great night's sleep. Sacrifice 15 minutes for a phenomenal night's sleep, and because you're clearing your mind, right? You're not having to think about all the stuff you have to do, and it makes a big difference. But real quick, have a cutoff time in your day. I forgot to mention that. Have a cutoff time in your day, and make sure that you have this set every single day to go off in your calendar, and you do that every single day. It works phenomenal, right? So also, it does help to kind of balance your life out by looking at this really wheel of life that we created. So, you have different things like fun, gut, emotional health, physical health, personal growth, self-image, spouse, kids, career, business, finances, environment, friends, all these different things. And what you do is at the center of it is 0. And they look like pizza slices or pie slices. And out towards the edge is full, right? This is this area of your life an abundant part of your life, right? Is it doing really well? Shade in, draw this out yourself or take a picture, whatever it is, and just shade in different areas, right? And then you can see what areas you need to prioritize and put on your calendar. But it just helps. This is like additional cherry on top. It's called the wheel of life. Set alarms. I can't emphasize this enough. I'm not going to go super detailed. I'm not going to rag on you about this, but set alarms in your phone. Until you get used to routine and until you get used to all the new steps, set alarms to go off throughout your entire day. This helps you without having to look at your schedule and without having to know. That way you can stay on task, and you have to be relentless with the task. One thing that does help is having, if you don't get done with the task, just have a buffer time later in your week, a 2 or 3 hour block that you can get the stuff done that you need to get done. Don't ever put anything in that time and set for stuff that's overflow, basically. This allows you to have specific times that you don't have to worry about other things getting in the way. And then if you do need to go over on certain things, you just don't get done with them, then you can finish them up there. So set alarms in your phone to do this. Also, the Eisenhower matrix. This is something that, again, Craig Valentine taught me, but you make a mind up, and you're going to make the same mind up list for 2 different things here. One of them is the Eisenhower box, one of them is the billionaire time matrix. So Eisenhower matrix is basically, it helps you kind of classify and focus and hone in the singularity of focus on certain things. Basically to focus on your 5% of what you need to be focused on. So non-urgent but important task, you have non-important but not important task, then you have urgent task and you have non-urgent task. Now, non-urgent but important task, or NUI work in UI, is do it now, do it and do it now. So this is stuff that you do that's not only provide immediate benefit, but also long-term benefits. If you're writing a book, it'd be getting up 15 minutes early to write the book. If you're doing which you should be doing, time in the morning with the Bible and God and everything like this, you should be spending time doing affirmations and visualizations, time with the program. This is called NUI work. This is stuff that you need to be doing for stuff now and long-term benefits. This is stuff that's going to make the biggest impact on your life. You can also label this stuff, so you can label this stuff NUI work, and you can also label it like if you own a business. This can be, you can have this for personal, then you can have, money. This could also relate to like money later task. So if you own a business, this could be working on the business so that you don't stay working in the business for the rest of your life, right? Slaves, that you basically created your own job. So you don't want to do that. But you can, in business, just real quick, you have money now, money maintenance, and money later task. Money maintenance is like back end stuff in the business, could be building stuff, systems out, processes, SOPs, different things like that. And you have money later task, which is stuff that, like I said, gets you working on the business. That way you develop it, grow it, scale it, different things like that. Money now could be like stuff that you don't necessarily do, but it could be content, like could be lead generation, whatever it is. Everybody owns a different business if you own a business, but that's stuff that you can apply here. So if you want to relabel it based on that, you can. Now, you also want to have this for your personal life too, but non-urgent can also be date nights and stuff like that. Urgent task is also could be like date nights and stuff like that. So, or this could be like basically like stuff that needs to be done, but it doesn't need to be done right now. So it needs to be done soon, just not right now. So this is like, You decide and you schedule a time to do it, right? This is stuff that needs to be done. It moves your goals forward. Then you have non-important tasks. This is stuff that is important, but it's not important for you to do. Meaning this is stuff what I call like $10 an hour task. And I'm not bashing you if you make 10 or less dollars an hour, you make around that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like if you need to be delegated. If you can delegate stuff, like mowing the yard, getting stuff done around the house that you don't need to be doing honeydews all around the house, nothing like that. Like just delegate that stuff, get it done, hire someone else to do it so you can spend more time with your family and the stuff that developing the relationships that really matter. If it's in your business, if like, for example, if you owned a gym in theory and you had a business and you own that gym and you're making, I don't know, quite a bit of money, and you're still cleaning the toilets and doing things like that, answering the phones, you should be delegating that stuff, doing lead gen and stuff like that. If you have the money, you should be delegating this stuff and hiring it out. You shouldn't be doing it yourself. You should be delegating this stuff so that you can scale and grow and focus on the 5% and developing the business. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the business, not on the business, and you can't scale it that way. So that's going to be important there. But in personal life too, delegate stuff, delegate to children. If you have older children or younger children, whatever, delegate chores to him, pay them if you want allowance fees and stuff like that. It's fine, right? And then non-urgent task is like, this is stuff that you're going to delete altogether. So like this is stuff like surfing YouTube or whatever it is. You're deleting these tasks because they don't serve you and they don't serve anyone really in your life. So delete that stuff. But you're going to spend most of your time doing urgent tasks and non-urgent but important tasks. That's where you should be focused. You should not be focused on doing the non-important tasks, and definitely delete the crap out of your life that's not serving you. Now the next thing here is the billionaire time matrix. This helps you get basically cut back 10 fewer hours, or work less, whatever it is, or gain 10 hours, however you want to say it. But you take that same mind dump list of everything you do in your day, and you put them in different categories. Like, what do you hate doing, right? Now, some stuff you have to choose to do. You have to choose to do, if it's your responsibility. But what do you hate doing? What's not your job? This goes back to kind of correlates to the other sheet too. What should you stop doing, right? What should you stop doing altogether? What are your distractions? So the two areas here, like, what do you hate doing? I hate mowing the yard. I delegate that stuff out. I don't do it, right? I hate doing some of the things around the house. I don't do them, right? I delegate it out. So get used to procrastinating on things that you don't do, that you should not be doing, and do things that you should be doing. A lot of times people procrastinate on things they shouldn't be doing. And then, or things that they should be doing, and, do things, busy work that they shouldn't be doing. So just understand that. So another thing here is non-negotiables. Make a list of non-negotiables, and you're going to use this to put on your calendar. So non-negotiables are like date night, going to church, tithing, time with God, doing different things like that, like, newie work, doing the modules. These are non-negotiables. So another thing here is that you have like these, like, this is kind of a overview, but like you have like a wake up time and stuff like that. You have a morning routine that you can add. You have time with church. You want to put that on there. You have fill your cup, like going to get a massage or whatever it is. You have weekly reviews. You have physical care. A buffer time during the week, like I talked about earlier. You have a weekly date. You have family time. You have bedtime routine. Like, if you're really structured, you can have a really awesome life and a lot of freedom, honestly. Remember, structure equals freedom. So I just want to kind of go over that. But you got to plan your life, or your life's going to run you. So build your life, is what I'm saying. Don't let it run you. Now, what to add to your calendar? So you want to add non-urgent but important tasks. You want to add urgent tasks, non-urgent, non-important tasks, to someone else's calendar, and then you want to get rid of the non-urgent tasks, like the stuff that you shouldn't be doing, like eliminate those things. So the main two that you should be focused on is urgent tasks and non-urgent but important tasks to your calendar. You should not be adding these other things, and if you need to delegate it temporarily or talk to someone to delegate it, do that, right? Especially if you own a business. Make time for what should be staples in your life. Dates, kids, church, God, self-care. Ground yourself in daily mindset work, like I mentioned earlier. So there's tools that you can use, a few things here to really maximize your routine. So daylight alarm clock, it's about $50. It's over to the right here. It's one of the best investments I've ever made. It works awesome. It wakes you, programs your circadian sleep rhythms. It wakes you up in an awesome way, in a gentle way. And it's just awesome. Like set it across the room. Don't hit the snooze button. Count backwards from 5 in front of it and go get in a contrast shower or a cold shower, right? Drink your cold glass of water, 16 to 20 ounces and get your day going. So another thing here is Todoist, not to-do list, Todoist. It's an app. It's free. You can pay for, an advanced version or pro version, but you don't really need it. It's free. Paper's free, pretty much. You get that. You can reuse that to write stuff down. Alarms on your phone, like I mentioned earlier, and a distraction box for electronics. So that's what that looks like there. Just Amazon it. They're all different versions of it. Like I said, you can put a timer on it, set a passcode on some of them, and then you can use it to eliminate, get rid of the distraction. Don't try to be super disciplined, just get rid of it. Right now, I want to show you a live example real quick on what I mean by routine. So I'm going to switch my screen here real quick. And we're going to share another screen. So I should share this. No, I need the one I want to share. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to share another one with you real quick. Just give me 1 second. All right. There we go. All right, let me get out of here real quick, and I'm going to go to my schedule. Now, I went to a few weeks in advance, but as you can tell, I'm not going to go through all of these, but if you notice here, I have everything blocked in. I have my life blocked in, right? I do everything I tell you to do myself, right? I have time with my wife. I read book here. I have in a day routine. I have sleep. I have my midweek, which is my church. That doesn't happen all the time, but it's every couple months, and it stops every couple months. And I have our calls. I have another call over here that's actually not on here at the moment, but it usually is. And then we also have weekly date, lunch date, and then we also have for me, like I have Nui work and money later, money now, and money maintenance task on here. Batch filming content. I have ads training, different things like the gym. I do cardio every single day here with my dog, and then also do it at night, even though it's not on here. But wake up time every time at 6 a.m. So understand that your schedule can evolve and grow, and it will, and that's okay. As you grow, your schedule will need to change. That's okay. But as you can tell, I have time for church. I have blocked off. I have different things. It's all blocked off, and usually this is pretty full in here, but all of this is on here. These are staples, and then the business and calls and everything, client calls and whatnot, get booked all right here, and it's usually pretty packed. But this is weeks out. But I just want to share that with you real quick, and we can go back to here now. So that being said, you want to get these tools and use them, but I just want to explain that for you real quick. So before we go, I want you to build your routine out, and I really want you to focus on what really matters, right? I really want you to focus on dialing in, adding the staples to your routine, and then you don't have to send this in, but if you have any questions about it, just reach out to me. If you're a guy, just reach out to me directly. If you're a female, just reach out to me in a group chat or let Dustin know, and I have no problem giving you any advice about your routine, but I really feel like this one that we just did right now is way more elaborate. So I hope it helps you guys, and I hope you have an amazing day. And remember, we love you, God loves you, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.